Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Chaffee here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. Brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon. Still have plenty of rock salt, sand, Pelado, mag, ice pellets and flakes, snow blowers, spreaders, shovels, whatever you need to make sure that your home or business is clean and safe on the outside for your family or for your customers. 631-756-1125 is the phone number. 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, serving the entire tri-state area with the lowest prices in town. The website is omnitruevalue.com. Let's get the weather for today out of the way, and we do have a cold front that is moving offshore, taking clouds out with it. Very warm day up and down the eastern seaboard, with temperatures in the 60s and 70s, the 60s reaching all the way up into central coastal New England, and then running southward down the coast into Maryland, Delaware, and Virginia. It's been a very volatile period here. Second time in the last 2 weeks where we've had temperatures well up into the 60s a day or so before we wind up with some winter weather. And that's coming. As you can see, the moisture building across Texas, northeastward, into the Ohio Valley and lower Great Lakes. They just had yesterday's system go by. Now they've got this one. Some places down in the south had severe weather yesterday, and they're getting an ice storm today. So that's quite the switch. Radar's nice and quiet at 1:30 this afternoon. No precipitation in the northeast except for a little bit of activity there up in northern New York coming in off the lakes as that colder air arrives. Showers are mostly offshore, some scattered showers down in parts of the Carolinas. And then as we head to the west, see this rather large area of rain and soon to be freezing rain and sleet and snow as we go forward. We've got winter storm watches up here in the northeast, northeastern Pennsylvania, into northern New Jersey, also the Hudson Valley, northern Westchester County northward, up the Hudson Valley, all of Connecticut except south of Route 195, south of 95, all of Rhode Island, all of Massachusetts, and going up into New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine. We still have some leftover wind advisories up in parts of upstate New York and northern New England. Also, a few counties there in southwest PA and into West Virginia. We're seeing some winter storm watches, and I'm thinking we'll probably see central Pennsylvania's Weather Service office at State College do something with that area in between later today. Winter storm warnings, southwestern Illinois, southern Missouri, northern Arkansas to Oklahoma and North Texas, with advisories surrounding that. And they're still getting some heavy snows in western Colorado, into Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico. So a busy day and about to get busier. So let's take you through. Snow is not the big issue, by the way, in the southern plains and into the Ohio Valley. It's really going to be more about the freezing rain and the ice with quarter inch or more buildups in some places. And some of the snow amounts get a bit higher as you get into northern Illinois, northern Indiana, and into Ohio. And here's what it looks like for the Northeast. The toughest part of the forecast is the area that I cover, which is eastern Pennsylvania to southern New England down into Maryland and Delaware, and also occasionally into northeast Virginia. The southern edge of that snow line cutting across Route 195 on the Weather Service forecast in New Jersey. You can see the amounts rise quickly once you go north of the coast, and you get into some 7, 8, 9, 10-inch numbers in upstate New York along I-90, and also through Massachusetts to Boston, to giving 10 inches there, 6 inches for Hartford, 2 inches for New York City, less than an inch for Philadelphia, and nothing of consequence for the Washington, D.C., Baltimore area. There was also going to be some ice issues, particularly in Pennsylvania, and we're going to be paying attention to those. The Weather Prediction Center has a 50% or higher probability of at least a tenth of an inch of ice accretion from areas in northwest New Jersey, west across Pennsylvania, and particularly in southwest Pennsylvania. I think they may have to beef this part of the forecast up as we go forward. And as far as snow is concerned, here too, very tight. They actually they brought the line, the 50% probability of at least 2, a little bit further to the south, cutting Long Island in half from east to west right across New York City, in New Jersey along and north of Route 78, and then continuing east in an east-west fashion across Pennsylvania. And you can see the very high probabilities, of course, up into upstate New York, where we also have to deal with probabilities for at least 4. And in the dark red there is 95 to 100% as you go up to the upper Hudson Valley. The 40% line actually runs down just south of Route 84 and into northwestern New Jersey. So we'll be watching to see what WPC does. They're good at this sort of stuff, so we pay extra attention to them. Now, as far as the forecast going forward, there's not, I really wish I could say I had more clarity in this, but we've seemed to have a bit of a standoff between the short range models, which are now coming into view, and the longer range global models with how they're handling this. The global models are colder and a little bit further south with the southern edge of snow. The short range models are warmer and have the southern edge of snow a little bit further to the north. It's a handful of miles, but it happens to cross the area that I cover specifically. But as you watch the GFS, you can see there's not too much. This area that's coming out now weakens as it moves eastward. So we don't have any real problems with that. We're going to see cold air come in tonight and for tomorrow as that big cold high. Temperatures this morning were 20 to 30 degrees below zero up in the northern plains. This is a very, very cold high. It's going to build into eastern Canada, and the question is really going to be, is that high going to hold, and is it going to hold cold air in? And the global models seem to indicate that it's going to hold it in a bit more than the short range models. The low here in eastern Kentucky, this is early Friday morning. Snow, northern New Jersey, Long Island, the Hudson Valley, Connecticut, on up into Massachusetts, upstate New York, the northern half of Pennsylvania. The purple and the salmon color in southern Pennsylvania. That's sleet in the purple, freezing rain in the salmon color. By morning, the GFS model anyway at least turns it to rain along the immediate coast, but that rain snow, that ice, the rain ice snow lines are not that far to the north of the coast, and the European is sort of straddling them right nearby, so that makes it even tougher. So this is what we're going to try to work out over the next couple of days, of the next day, because in a couple of days it'll be over, in the next day. So I think this is the type of situation where we're really not going to know the small details, which here are so important. We're not going to know that probably until maybe later tomorrow. We'll have to see how the atmosphere sets up and how cold it actually is. The low pulls out. Weather conditions improve on Friday. It should be a decent weekend. This system in the south that you see here Saturday night, which earlier this week it looked like it might want to try to come up the coast, is getting suppressed by another cold front coming down with a shot of colder air and another high to start off early next week. So at least after this storm system, we get a bit of a break for a little while because they've been kind of running one after another, and we need some time to just sort of breathe here. Weather in 5 brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware, 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon. 631-756-1125 is the phone number, and the website is omnitruevalue.com. The Joe and Joe Weather Show tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Do tune in. We'll have lots to say about what's going to happen. At least hopefully we'll know. I don't think we will. And with any kind of definity. Also, if you want to know where it's snowing and how much, you can download my free weather app, the Meteorologist Joe Cioffi weather app on Google Play or on the App Store. I've got every snow forecast map up there from Maine all the way down to Georgia and west to western Pennsylvania and West Virginia. So if you're looking for snow and a place to go, download that app. Those are National Weather Service snow forecast maps that update automatically when they update them. So you don't have to go to each page and go one by one. It's all there on one scroll, and you can find what you're looking for. So we'll see you tonight at 7:30 Eastern.